next resolution is a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract for the demolition of two former school buildings located on Burnside Avenue and Hoppin Avenue. The addresses are 80 Burnside Avenue and 33 Hoppin Avenue, sponsored by Council Vice President Rodericks.
Mr. President, council members, I think this is finally the win-win solution for what has been a long, not neglected, but a long-standing project of two abandoned school buildings, one of which, I've worked in that building and I understand the decrepit nature of it. And the neighborhood there has had to look at these two buildings, I think it's more than a decade now. And the ensuing parking lot, large area, which is nothing but weed strewn. And I know prior councils struggled with proposals. We've seen everything from 33 condos being suggested to others, and the neighbors really didn't want large condominium development there. I know Councilman Morado and myself have talked to a lot of the immediate neighbors, and there's finally, I think, some light at the end of the tunnel. I think this proposal to just put some single-family homes there is the answer. And I attended a meeting last week, a neighborhood meeting that the mayor hosted, and the neighbors there pretty much to a person were in agreement. I think they have some specific suggestions about do this and do that, and how much will the lots be, and I think some of that is to be determined. I don't know if Director Fazioli wants to add to that, or I'm probably missing some specifics. Did we arrive at a number of homes? I know we were talking 8 to 10, or is it 12? But there are some specifics I don't have in front of me.
Good evening. Right now, the estimate's between 9 and 11 lots, depending on the lot size. The zoning in that area is 7,500 square feet, so that might, result in 10 or 11 lots. And there was some discussion among the residents about preferring smaller lots. We were originally thinking 10,000 square foot lots, but they felt that would be out of character with the neighborhood and probably cost prohibitive. So, once we get down to the subdivision of the lots and the configuration of the lots, we'll be coming back to the council with a plan as far as how those lots will be laid out, the size and all of that, and any other zoning issues that would arise.
So it's clear tonight, you're not asking for a specific plan, we're just asking to get the land cleared.
Right.
And as I understand, it would be sodded, grass, it would be left in a good, with a good appearance.
That's correct, yes.
Until such time that homes get built there.
Correct.
And I think there was one other common denominator that residents mentioned, and that was, and I don't know how any of us could control a lot of this, but they were hoping to see reasonably priced homes, because it is a big need in East Providence, affordable housing. And that I think the size of the lot will help to control that, determine that. And so I don't see any downside to us finally moving on this.
I agree. And again, it's been deemed surplus a number of years ago. It's been laying abandoned for a while, and just about everybody in the neighborhood that came out that day agreed that single family housing for that site would be suitable.
Not to mention 8 to 11 houses on the tax rolls.
Yes, right. Yeah.
So when those channel my best Councilman Rodericks and pull the history out, right? The school department gave those buildings to the city in August of 2014. And I know because it was my very first school committee meeting that I was at, right? And if you want to know how long they've been sitting with no school stuff going on, the kids from Watters School came to Waddington when I was in 4th grade. I'm 45. So it's been that long since you've seen school stuff going on in those buildings. They're dumps. They need to come down.
Quick question. So when the lots are ready for build, is it going to be sold to individual builders, or is it going to be sold as a lot, the whole thing, to a developer?
That's something that we can discuss. I prefer selling it to individuals rather than a developer. I mean, that's something that when we come to the sale of that, we'd like to have a community forum, discuss it with the council about their reviews. I mean, there might be some advantages to selling some lots to home builders, or it might be better to sell to individuals. One of the things that came up was in the discussion was the city council has in its authority to deem some of the lots as affordable lots, and that way you can cap the price on that. So to target the median income in that area. So that's something I know Councilman Cahoon's talking about affordable housing, but this would be an opportunity where the city could actually put affordable housing in that neighborhood through a deed restriction on some of the properties there.
So
That's interesting. I like that.
can I follow up on that? I'm sorry to keep interrupting you, Councilman
Sorry.
Morano. How would the city council go about doing that? Would we set, a certain percentage of what the market rate is for that area,
Right.
or?
Yeah, so we would follow the guidelines set forth by the Rhode Island Housing that establishes what the median family income is in that area. And we could target the sales price at 80% of that median family income. And you would have a deed restriction. We work with the law offices to make sure that those properties would be deed restricted affordable, forever. So it's not like somebody can buy it at affordable and then, sell it as the market price appreciates. So it's an approach that we have cooperated with the Waterfront Commission. The units that will be going on at Ivy Street are deed restricted, and that's written right into the deed. So they can never become market rate units. But again, that's something we'd certainly work with the council and bring that to your attention.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Fazioli. Did you form that in a motion?
Sure, there are no further questions. I would move approval of the resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract for the demolition of 2 former school buildings located on Burnside and Hoppin avenues.
Second.
Oh, sorry. Councilman Morano's got to say.
All right, roll call vote, please.
Councilman Cahoon,
Aye.
Councilman Morato,
Aye.
Council Vice President Rodrick,
Aye.
Councilwoman Souza. Aye. Council President Brito.
Aye. Next resolution,